Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Tuesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Bob, we've made it here to a Tuesday all the way through the footballing weekend. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you here this morning.
Well, it's great to talk to you, Beamer. Excited to be here today with you. Excited you're back in the saddle.
Oh, yeah.
And my goodness, what a great finish last night.
Well, it depends on if you're an Eagles fan.
It's a great finish.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the game had everything you wanted. If you were just an objective fan, it gave you everything you wanted. Now,
Fun and drama.
Fun and drama. That's what you're here for. So
even down to the last extra point, which turned into a 48-yard kick.
Yes. I mean, so it was all there. I mean, the highs, the lows, everything you wanted. That's why the NFL is king. I try to tell my kids that. I'm like, you know why this is great? Because no one knows who's going to win every week.
I was
like, I watched the Vikings smoke the Niners.
Yeah, I watched the Saints go into Dallas and absolutely mollywop them.
Yeah, I mean,
that didn't make any sense to me.
I think in Atlanta, they didn't look all that great last week against Pittsburgh.
15 points going into the last drive, a minute and 30 seconds left. No way.
And you get, like, premier Kirk Cousins.
$180 million. That was worth it.
You get Nick Sirianni throwing a pass with no time left.
Crazy, insane offensive visor guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish Bill Belichick could have been. I don't know if he was on the Manning cast.
He was on the Manning cast in the first half.
Yeah, at that point. Like, what are we doing?
Mary came downstairs.
Throwing the ball.
Mary came downstairs last night. She goes, I can't believe you like the Manning cast. I'm like, I like the Manning cast when it is a game of no personal consequence to me. I like hear these guys just talking ball.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. Like, Bill Belichick would have just been grossly disgusted by that.
What are we? 3rd and 3 on the 10-yard line. Throwing the ball.
I mean, run it. Maybe. Because here's the thing. You act like running it doesn't get you the first down for sure. There's still a chance you can pick up the first down. Number one, you have one of the best running quarterbacks in the NFL.
You also have one of the best running backs.
One of the best running backs. You could figure something else out of that. There was a low-risk pass, but with any pass, there's a risk of dropping it. I mean, I don't know if he was watching the Browns and saw Kevin Stefanski on 3rd down with no timeouts left. Shark, maybe that inspired him. Said, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll get him outside the pocket. Maybe Jalen will do what Deshaun did, try to like change hands with the ball when he's getting sacked. So instead of even just or kicking a field goal or punting, we'll give him the ball instead. Even better.
Here, take this.
But here's the difference. People are like, well, they scored. They would have had a minute.
Yeah.
They would have had a minute.
It's a lot different than a minute and a half or a minute and 40 whenever they got that ball.
And so,
back.
they scored with a little over a minute, but that would have dramatically sped up the clock, what they were able to do, how their operations went.
Well, there were 2 plays in that last drive. So the Falcons won the game 22-21. There were 2 plays in that last drive where the ball carriers, the receivers, were tackled inbounds. 2.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's 40 seconds right there.
So
play completion, getting reset, getting you ready to rock. 2 where the receiver went down inbounds.
Also a bad ball.
There's a lot. It's an
epidemic of bad ball last week. I mean, it was not pretty by any stretch, Beam.
No, it wasn't. But the Falcons conclude your weekend of footballing action, 22-21 victors as they go into Philly and take them down. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Get ready to get peacocked, Buckeyes. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. I know that Sharky's super pumped about that. Schlegs is going to appear.
Saturday night cock for you, Shark.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
what's better than that?
7 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Not even on the 30.
I got to be at a wedding during that time, too, so I know exactly what I'll be doing during that reception. I'll be watching the Buckeye game on my phone. 6:35, Anthony Schlegel is going to join us live. So get ready for that here in about a half hour's time. I don't know what he is going to bring to the table this morning. Usually Shark has full editorial control of that. Not today. He's live. 6:35 and at 8:05. We're going to replay that for you, given if he doesn't say anything crazy. Bryce Young was benched. We'll get into that coming up here at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Tony Gerdeman, a Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. Improvement week is over. It is now Marshall week. What are we looking for out of the Buckeyes? Gerd's going to join us coming up here at 7:35. Then Uncle Beau, he's going to round out the program with us. Beau Bishop, that is. We will talk some Browns at 8:35, amongst other things, as we always do with him. So power-packed little Tuesday program for you. Before we get into anything else today, it is Tuesday, the 17th day of September, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob, we got lined up for us this morning, buddy.
Well, it is Tuesday, September 17th, the 261st day of the year. 105 days remaining in this 2024. This day, 1920, the NFL, organized as the American Professional Football Association, organizes in Canton for the first time.
All right.
Coming out of the ground, Beam. Canton Bulldogs getting it done.
You know what it costs to buy a franchise?
$100.
$100.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that was a pretty good investment.
And they say that Art Rooney went back in that Hupmobile dealership there in Canton and won a little poker game to come up with his $100
That's
to buy the
great.
Steelers. They're worth a little more than that today.
Just a skosh.
I'd say the Steelers are probably worth $4 to $5 billion, so pretty solid investment right there. This day, 1939, the Soviet invasion of Poland. 16 days after Germany invaded from the west, well, Russia and your boy, Shark, they said, let's head on in from the east. 1949 on this date, the sporting news, and Bill Bender named Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year. We'll have to ask Bill about that today. And
What his voting process was.
Yeah, how did he get to that and just the process of establishing that? Because that's a watershed moment right there.
Yeah.
This date, 1953, Ernie Banks becomes the Chicago Cubs' first black player. This date, 1959, Jack Nicklaus wins the 59th U.S. Amateur.
Nice.
So well on his way, getting ready to turn pro. What was it, 62 he won the Masters? 61, Shark?
62 won the Open.
The
U.S. Open.
U.S. Open.
Did Jack win multiple U.S. AMs or just the one?
I think just one.
No.
I think he only played. I think he went pro after. I don't think he stayed 4. Maybe he did. I'm not sure. I think he just won the one though, but maybe not. This date, 1964, Mickey Mantle hits his 450th home run, and then on this day, 2000, the great Dan Marino jersey, number 13, is retired for the Miami Dolphins.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Marino. Thank you so much. It's an incredible evening for me to be inducted to the Dolphin Honor Roll and to be on the wall with so many other great Dolphins in the tradition. Great players like Bob Greasy, Coach Shula, the 72 undefeated team, Nat Moore, Nick Bonicani, Dwight Stevenson. It's a special honor for me. Thank you. And to know that the statue that was unveiled tonight will be out in front of the stadium where all you Dolphin fans can see, it's special for me and my family.
I love Dan Marino. Zach Thomas said he was the man.
Laces out, Dan.
He was up there for Zach's retirement party. He was tremendous. Laces out, Dan.
Jack Nicklaus, 2-time U.S. AM winner.
Why not?
2 times.
Yeah.
1959 and 61.
Why would you just want to win it once?
Right.
Beam? So
Yeah,
as a
let's double
sophomore
down.
and a senior?
Yeah.
Good for him.
No, I don't think that's right. I think he left Ohio State after 3 years.
Maybe as a freshman and as junior?
Freshman and junior, I'm guessing.
Pretty good.
Pretty impressive then.
Pretty
Even
good.
better. You say, I didn't think he stayed for all 4 when you said that.
I've got some really good golf trivia for you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, good.
Do you want to do it now or do you want to do it later?
Oh,
we better save it.
Okay.
Save that.
Save it for next
That's
segment.
great, Beam.
Okay.
This date, 2001, the New York Stock Exchange reopens after 9/11, the longest closure since the Great Depression. And then on this date, 2004, 20 years ago today, the greatest baseball player of all time hit his 700th home run.
Shift is on for Bonds. Bonds hits one to left center field. He hits it well. Plesko back. It is out of here. Number 700 for Barry Bonds. Aaron, Ruth, and now Bonds, the 700 home run club. As Bonds steps on home plate, and listen to this crowd.
It seemed like that one was close and not a no-doubter.
So I'm saying he was...
Yeah, he was kind of waffling on the call there a little bit.
It was opposite field, left center.
Okay.
So much power right there, Shark.
Apo Taco.
Also, some birthdays today. Born on this day, 1923. Hank Williams Sr. George Blanda, born on this date, 1927. Phil Jackson, born on this date in 45, 79 years old. 2-time champ as a player, 9-time as a coach. Born on this date, 1959. One of Shark's favorite tribe all-timers. Could you not find any Tom Waddell, Shark?
I could not, no.
How many years did he play for the tribe?
I don't know, 2.
What about any Craig
I think 3.
Wendell?
Well, Tom Waddell, though. One of only 8 players in Major League history to be born in Scotland. How about that?
All right, nice. Scotsman.
Absolutely, yeah, the Scotsman. And then turning 50 today, one of my favorites, Rasheed Wallace, the longtime NBAer.
Both teams play hard, my man.
Rasheed, do you think it was a good game? Do you think both teams played hard?
Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. God bless and good night.
It's so great.
Ball don't lie.
He got fined for not being there, so he went and both teams played hard. Every answer. God bless him. One of my favorites. And then also, having a birthday day, turning 29 years old. Got a nice little victory against the Bengals B. Maybe a little help with some calls. Patrick Mahomes, turning 29, the 3-time Super Bowl champ.
I thought he was just jumping in the stands and he grabbed the camera. I was like, what in the world? 98 full body slam my ass on the chest, pick me up out the air. Oh, I need my helmet, huh? I need my helmet, huh? I forgot about that. Let's go put some points up, baby. Get in that end zone. I think I'm a snow game guy. I don't know why. Everything's super slow, and I'm just like out here just like standing straight in the pocket, just like, whoop. Feliz Navidad, Proseo año felicidad. Navidad, hey. Merry Christmas in Spanish. Oh, that's right. You know, I'm from Texas, bro, you know what I'm saying?
I'm from Texas here, you know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday, Kermit the Frog.
Absolutely. It's Citizenship Day, Constitution Day, International Country Music Day, Apple Dumpling Day as well, and National Monte Cristo Day. How about that? Those are
like
tremendous.
a fried sandwich, isn't it?
A little ham, a little beef,
Yeah.
a little, some cheese in there.
Yeah.
Sound delicious. Those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. September 17th, 261st day of the year, 105 days remaining in this 2024.
Good job on that, Bob. As always, very happy birthday as well to my wife, Meredith. So big happy birthday today for her.
What'd you do for her before you left?
I got out of bed and left the house. That's what I did. I got a few errands to run after I get off work.
Oh, boy.
Make sure that we're all good for when she gets home today. I got a few things to do, but yeah, happy birthday to her. Hopefully William isn't a gremlin for her. Sharky, little Guards update for you. The Guardians did win last night, comeback fashion against the Twins. What, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, or did I get that flip-flop?
No, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th.
Okay, there you go. So 4-3 victors. What's the magic number down to in the playoffs? 2?
We're down to 6 to win the to reach the playoffs. To win the
division.
We're down to 2 to reach the playoffs, down to 6 to win the division.
All right, so we could possibly have a division clincher by like Friday.
We could have the playoff clincher tonight.
Yeah. Division clincher could come as soon as this weekend.
Something like that.
All right, good. That's all that matters. Reds are off. They take on the Braves tonight at 6:40. Get ready to get peacocked, Buckeyes. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching a crash on 270 southbound right near the 33 split. We've got the left shoulder slightly blocked off as crews work to clear that up. And then on the far south side on I-71 southbound, we've got some lane closures in place just past Harrisburg Pike due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Friday night in the Buckeye State means only one thing: high school football, baby. Join Ryan Baker and Coach Lee Cochran for Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime.
Friday night at 9:30.
Your home of all things football, The Fan.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Fall is here. It's still warm and dry and everything's brown. But yay, fall. Maybe after your summer road trips, you've realized your vehicle sucks. My friends at Jermaine Lexus want to help. Right now, they have special APRs as low as 2.99% on their most popular models like the ES and RX, or lease payments starting as low as $4.99 a month. My friends at Jermaine are the best in the business. If you're in the market, please stop in. 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Sherrod Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio.
But what Sherrod Brown does in D.C. has not protected Ohio women and children. Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Not only unfair, but risking injury to female athletes. Brown even introduced legislation to allow transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms. And Brown would allow puberty blockers, even sex change surgery for children. Worse, Brown introduced a law to force women's domestic violence shelters to accept transgender biological men, inflicting more trauma on abused women. So when Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio,
Sherrod Brown is not protecting Ohio women and children. In fact, he's endangering them. Ohio deserves better. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there today with a high of 83, low 60s tonight. A little bit more sunshine on your Wednesday with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, around 6:33, so only a few minutes away from right now, Anthony Schlegel, he's going to join the program live. Shark will not have full editorial control, so Schleg's coming up here in our next segment. Bob, before we get going here, why don't you give me a number?
Ooh, let's go number 3.
Caller number 3 right now. Quick on the draw, 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. You're going to be walking away with a pair of tickets to go see Sebastian Maniscalco. Stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco is stopping by the Shot Saturday, February 8th. Tickets will go on sale on Ticketmaster Friday, September 20th at 10 a.m. So we're beating the box office here on the Juice. Caller number 3 right now, 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get into Shark. You're going to be walking away with a pair of tickets to go see Sebastian Maniscalco at the Shot later on in February. I think Timmy Hall has seen Sebastian Maniscalco. That is not safe for kids. I do believe that's a show like that.
Okay, that's good. Funny, but maybe somewhat lewd.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Think so.
I don't know if I know who that is. I'm trying to think of his name.
Yeah, he's good. You'd like him.
Well, if he's selling out the shot, I would imagine he's decent.
That's a 10:30 or 11 o'clock Friday night, Bob, when the kids are asleep.
Okay. I recognize his face before.
Yeah, you'd like him.
Yeah. Why not? I'm sure he's good.
So, what'd you watch this weekend? No, outside of football, what movie did you do this weekend?
Yeah, I didn't watch any movies this week. Well, I watched a little bit of The Wedding Singer one night.
Okay.
That was Saturday night, late as like some of the games were wrapping up and winding up.
Yeah.
Clicking back and forth. Oh, I did watch Atomic Blonde.
Never seen it.
With oh gosh, what is her name?
Cameron Diaz.
Charlize Theron.
Okay.
It's a little spy movie from like 2017.
Okay.
I watched that pretty late. It ended at like 2:30. It was. I need to go back and rewatch the ending because I think I overserved myself. I think I watched the end of the movie, but I think I forget.
Yeah.
The last 10 to 15 minutes, like how it truly wrapped up and ended.
So good, you'll have to watch it twice.
I'll just watch the end twice.
Right.
I'll be good with that.
I need to watch the full plot line. Sharky, who's the winner of the pair of tickets to go see Sebastian Maniscalco?
Well, if you can hear, my phone's still ringing.
It is.
But Eddie from Columbus.
Congrats to him. He beat the box office. Again, tickets on sale Friday, September 20th. That is this Friday, coming up here at 10 a.m. I know this story from yesterday made you super excited. So we were waiting on Ohio State's game time and kickoff time to be announced against Sparty. That is September 28th. It is a couple weekends away from right now. And boy, for the Big Ten opener, are you getting a good one? Michigan State, Ohio State, first road game of the season for the Buckeyes. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff on the Peacock. That's right. No terrestrial TV, direct to consumer. You got to go through the app to watch your Buckeyes play.
Only on streams, baby.
Only on the streams.
Love that. Shark, how excited are you about that?
Well, I didn't see that as quickly as Megan did, and she texted me right away and said...
She's a good daughter.
Said, hey, by the way, we've got the Peacock. So I'll be going to Megan's to watch the game.
That's good. Mooch off your daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Start planning... Way to pre-plan retirement, Shark. I like that.
She has been mooching off me for 30 years, Bob.
I mean, if that's what you call providing for your child, either way.
Kind of.
Usually that's a two-way street, a one-way street, Shark, but I like it, help you out a little bit. Maybe get a chance to go see your granddaughter, hang out with Pia, have some drinks.
What time will Pia go to bed? Will she watch any of that Buckeye game?
I doubt it. I hope she's going to bed at 7:30.
Yeah, she's about 7:30 at the latest.
Yeah, that's what Willie is. Although on Saturday night, he was up until like 8 because we went to Our Lady of Peace right on High Street, had a little festival this weekend.
Oh, yeah, the Catholic Fall Festival.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. We went, so I didn't realize that they were having that. And the mayor's
my kids go up to, when they had the one at St. Andrews 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was the weekend it poured the one night, Saturday night.
Because that's the one up near Worthington, right?
It's off of like Reed.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different. It's fall festival season. So there's one every weekend.
Everyone's got all the Catholic dioceses have them everywhere, so they're fun. And the kids love go and enjoy them, get some rides, do a little gambling, win some cakes, do some different stuff. We used to go to the one down in Grandview too. Like
I was thinking of the St. Michael Festival.
They've got them all over the place.
Yeah.
And so the kids love it. As Billy gets older, he'll want to just go down and hang out.
Oh, it was terrific.
How far are you from there?
Oh, I mean, we could walk easily.
So that's perfect then. He'll be able to run on over there and do whatever he needs to do.
So we were hanging out. We went to Yellow Springs Brewery down on Indianola for a little bit of time, and the mayor's like, "Why don't we just pop by? I don't really want to go home with Willie right now because he'd be a gremlin." I'm like, "All right, that's a good idea." So yeah, we just went to the fall festival. We actually just parked right down the street from it. But if we would have planned it a little bit easier, we would have just gone home and walked
over. Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. That wasn't what we were into. Yeah, it was terrific. I mean, they had a little playground that he was running around on. We were playing, the $1 gambling wheels. It was a blast.
It's fun. It's a good time. Did they have any like big rides or anything?
They didn't have the rides, but they did have like inflatable jump houses and a bunch of different stuff.
Like St. Andrews is probably one of the biggest. They have like full-on rides and stuff like that. Just the safest stuff you're going to find.
Sure.
Temporary rides you can pop up and fly around in the air.
It's always a game when we go because we like to go to the state fair every year, and it's always a game that we play. Like when William gets a little bit older, are we going to allow him to go on this? And everything that's usually like 3 feet off, 3 feet off the ground is probably fine. everything that you see is like flipping and spinning and getting more than like 20 feet off the air. I'm like, I don't know.
How do you think you're going to be able to stop him?
I won't.
That's what I'm saying. Like when he gets older, he's just going to go do that.
Yeah.
I mean, not when he's like 7, but when he's like 12 or 11, he's going to go ride the rides with his buddies. Like that's what's going to happen. And then you'll realize like how wildly unsafe, if you're looking at them now, wildly unsafe those rides are.
Oh yeah, that's
like you realize that like Kings Island, they walk the tracks of all the roller coasters every day. Like same thing at Cedar Point.
Yeah, there's rules and regulations.
Ride them a handful of times. I'm like, that seems like it's pretty well regulated. Popping up one of these little rickety old death machines that we're just going to throw up anywhere, not on level ground, little on grass, little on concrete. It's all good. Let it spin around.
Well, they have ride technicians there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're ready to rock, dude. I trust no one else with my life than that person running the zipper. So I'm like, you're going to put me in this cage, then spin me around. It goes up like 20 feet in the air. Yeah,
I trust my life more with the deviled eggs at the state fair than I do the rides.
Absolutely. I mean, the worst case with the deviled eggs, you'll just throw up beams. So that's no big deal.
I mean, that's happened before. That's no problem.
But I want to let you know, I mean, summer's almost here, or almost gone. So if you've been thinking about your windows and doors, making a change, it's time. It would be dumb not to get a few estimates. It's a huge purchase. All I'm saying, don't double down on that. Forget to include my friends over at Pella Columbus. Voted by you, Columbus, as the leading, most trusted window brand and most likely to improve the look and value of your home. They've got 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home. So there's something in there for everybody. The Pella product, it's famous. The local Pella team, they're just as impressive. So check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Absolutely, man. It's 6:30, almost on a Tuesday. Our great friend Anthony Schlegel, he will join us live next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're still watching a crash on 270 southbound right near the 33 split on the southeast side. The left shoulder slightly blocked off in those southbound lanes as crews work to clear up a crash. Crews also working to clear up a crash on I-71 southbound on the far south side. Lane closures are in place right near Harrisburg Pike in those southbound lanes of 71. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. Visit GreatLakesKia.com.
Sherrod Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio.
But what Sherrod Brown does in D.C. has not protected Ohio women and children. Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Not only unfair, but risking injury to female athletes. Brown even introduced legislation to allow transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms. And Brown would allow puberty blockers, even sex change surgery for children. Worse, Brown introduced a law to force women's domestic violence shelters to accept transgender biological men, inflicting more trauma on abused women. So when Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio,
Sherrod Brown is not protecting Ohio women and children. In fact, he's endangering them. Ohio deserves better. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
PGA Tour's rising stars are back at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship September 19th through 22nd, and so is Pub 13. Grab your friends, cheer for birdies, and enjoy drink specials on the 13th green. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now's the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
Hey there, football fans. It's Austin Ward. People are noticing the difference with me on the sidelines this year. A little quicker on my feet and 55 pounds lighter thanks to Awaken 180. Getting some comments, even starting a press conference, getting asked how many pounds I've lost. Let's not forget that famous question, you actually kept off the weight? Yes, sir, I have, and it's been almost a year since I dropped my 55 pounds, which took just over 2 months. If I had gone the medication route, it would have taken 4 times that, and I would still be on the meds. I ate to lose weight with Awaken 180's at-home program, and to this day, I still thank Chops for introducing me to the solution for weight loss. Guys, girls, the program is simple. It's fast and can literally work for anyone. Have questions? Ask me, ask Chops, ask Scotty Vegas, or any of the other 23,000 Awaken 180 clients who took control of their weight. Already game? If so, speak to Awaken 180 directly by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Something amazing is happening in workplaces everywhere. Devices are learning how people work and adapting to help them get more done. That's because CDW is modernizing experiences with Dell's intelligent portfolio of devices. Thanks to built-in security and AI capabilities, your teams can work smarter wherever they may be. Dell and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, a little Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. And at this time, every single Tuesday, we're joined by this guy.
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
Sponsored by Sugar Shannara Accident Attorneys. We go to war for you at warforyou.com. That's warforyou.com.
As we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, check with our great friend. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Tuesday, buddy. What's happening?
Happy Tuesday. You guys just caught me in the middle of a Schleg Day just here at the all-weekend bumpy where dudes are being dudes and dudettes are being dudettes, and being a dude's a lifestyle, not a gender. What are you guys doing?
We're just doing this radio show. Why are you out of breath? What are we doing?
I mean, I did legs yesterday. I went to West Side with my boy, Tom Berry, who's the CEO there, and we did like this really cool total body dynamic effort day. And so Dr. Sean tore his quad. I mean, because we've been running and doing stuff like that, and then he worked out with Cam Johnson, who Cam suffered a season-ending injury, which is freaking terrible. And this was before that. And then he went out and was like coaching his girls' daughters, like basketball teams, like running around. I'm like, gosh, Sean. I'm like, bro, you know. And then he tore his quad. So Chargers are winning, and so he was just in there doing back, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go do freaking back. So we're just being soldiers.
It's a backtastic day, Schlegs. I love that we're getting into it. Without any Buckeyes on, what did we do this weekend?
Oh, my gosh, Bobby. I mean, what did we not do?
That's a fair question.
What did we not do? Shot my bow. I had these new arrows from DC Arrows. They're out of Southeast Ohio. Guys like, hey, you want a good arrow? I got you a good arrow. I was like, well, let's go. And then I've been shooting them like crazy. Just super dialed in, getting ready for the deer season. So that
when is that? When is deer season?
It's always like the last week of September.
Okay.
Last weekend of September. But so getting that dialed in, doing stuff around the farm, cutting up trees, digging holes. I mean, I dug a hole and I put one of my old truck tires in it so I could, swing a sledgehammer on it and then go back and shoot my bow at 60 yards just to see if I can catch my breath and still be dialed in, and just fun, crazy stuff like that. That's awesome.
So that's like in the Olympics where they do. You would like the Winter Olympics where they do the cross country skiing into
the biathlon.
The biathlon, and they you're basically hunting another human that you see in some of those movies with the Russian dudes where they're hunting somebody on skis, tracking them, and then they got to go shoot them for accuracy.
Yeah, most dangerous game. I wouldn't be like those people with all the technology guys. I'd be like the guy from Turkey. Except it'd be Red Man Golden Blend, a Blackie Mild. And always got to have eye protection.
The Soviet treat right there.
Which he did. So, I'd be super discreet. You know what I mean? Just as long as you're down and win, they can't smell the sweet fragrance of the Blackie Mild. Wood tip.
He is Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Question for you. Improvement Week is over. Buckeyes getting ready to host the Marshall coming up here at noon. What are we jumping back into as we go from Improvement Week here to Game Week?
Well, I think it's just what you see around college football. Bob and I talked about it on the Bobby Carpenter show. And you're seeing, and Lathan did a great job of just, it's amazing how guys get older and they watch games and they just watch it from a different perspective. And our guys are understanding the importance and the things that Ryan is saying. It's the little things, it's the details, it's the fundamentals of the game. You see, and again, it wasn't egregious, but the backside block on a quarterback, even though he shoved him, just stand there, right? He's going to run into you, probably fall down. Not a flag, right? And that negates a pick six. And because South Carolina dominated that game, they dominated the line of scrimmage, and they're finding a way of losing it. You see a lot of teams this last week, I'm just taking notes on all these games. I'm like, dude, they had over 100 yards of penalties. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Some of it is selfish. Some of it is lack of execution. But then you also are seeing the fundamentals always win. What is the fundamentals? Win the line of scrimmage, right? The turnover battle. You see that right now, and that goes back to, 9 units strong, but everybody has to be able to handle their business and do their job respectively, and you got to trust one another. And when you have things like that, that's completely different than executing. You saw it last night in the Eagles game, right? You go for it. You do a rollout pass.
Yeah.
If you just execute, it's a great call. Because people were like, well, why don't you run it and take time off the clock? That was the play that they wanted, right? It was a rollout. If it's not there, I keep it. We run the clock. If it is there, I trust my guy to go make a play. He doesn't execute, puts time on the clock. Kirk Cousins goes down, scores a touchdown, wins the football game. So it's back and forth. But, again, the fundamentals in 2024 still win. And that's what you got to be about. And those are the things that aren't sexy, They're not. People look at that like, oh, look how sexy they are and disciplined. That's a really disciplined team. Looks so good. They don't make self-inflicted mistakes. Let's talk about that. That's so hot right now. Nobody talks about that. They talk about, hey, why does Will Howard only have 4 passing touchdowns and these other guys have 30? It's like he's doing his job, guys. What are we talking about? It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting as we talk to our guy Anthony Schlegel here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I was amazed. There was an epidemic of bad ball that's being played in the NFL, and Schlegel, you've been watching it for a long time, and whether it was last night, whether it's Deshaun Watson almost fumbling it in the same situation when all you got to do is punt the ball away, and it ends up could have been a pass, could have been end up being a pass, thankfully. But I've never understood giving teams more time than they need to, even though these coaches get really smart and try to figure some stuff out. Where do you think all this bad ball stems from?
I mean, it stems from a lack of preparation, right? So, everything is about player safety, and it 100% should be about player safety. But then that means you have to be a significantly better coach and be able to articulate these things better. When you lack pregame or preseason games that actually are a little bit meaningful and want to get reps, that builds continuity, you have guys that are in camp, there's going to be an adjustment period, guys, and we're just happen to see it And we talked about it a long time ago. You're just seeing it now in the early weeks of the season. It will get cleaned up as you go, but then you want to expand to an 18-game season with probably 2 preseason games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it has to show up somewhere. Normally those things show up in camp or in a preseason, and you can get them fixed. But we also are in the thing where you have to win with the dudes that you're there. Like, it's still the Jimmies and Joes to run the X's and O's, and they can't do that if they're hurt. So I understand both sides of the coin here, but that's what you get when you don't have the continuity and the time to practice under live circumstances in preseason games that you do. Now, as far as like the college game, that to me goes into culture. It goes into that fall camp. It goes into spring football. Coaches got to do a better job of being efficient with their time. And here's the thing, like we talked about all the time, Bob, you can't coach toughness in November in the season. Nope. That happens in January, right? You can't start leaning on the fundamentals of the game and moving your feet and elbows in, thumbs up when you strike or hold on to a block, right? In season, like that's done in spring football. That's done in the off season. That's done in the summer. That's done during camp, right? Those things have to be ingrained in you so that you can react and not think, So because when you think, you play hesitant. And so I just think that you're finding that coaches have to become better. They have to really streamline what they're about. But ultimately, it's fun to watch for me because fundamentals win, regardless if it's business or if it's football. Fundamentals win.
I think we'll end on that. Pretty wise words. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Enjoy that cricket that you got chirping in the background, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
I stepped outside. I'm going to go just roll my face
Take it outside.
I'm just going to keep rolling, and I'm going to do some arms, and I'm going to just get vascular, and then I'm going to go get my day going. So, hey, Columbus, stay classy, attack and dominate, go Bucks, beat cancer.
Schlegs, chicks dig big backs. Remember that.
Oh, yeah, big back, 6 cylinders, Bob.
See you, buddy.
You're in. Bye.
There he goes. Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We could be mad at NFL refs just about every week of the season. We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're still watching a crash on 270 southbound right near the 33 split on the southeast side. The left shoulder slightly blocked off in those southbound lanes as crews work to clear up a crash. Crews also working to clear up a crash on I-71 southbound on the far south side. Lane closures are in place right near Harrisburg Pike in those southbound lanes of 71. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Announcing our $99 home preventative maintenance checkup. Carpenter and Bryant will do whatever it takes to get you ready for the fall and winter ahead. Check us out at carpentercolumbus.com. That's carpentercolumbus.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Do more with your money at Tel Ohio Credit Union. If you know Tel Ohio Choice Checking, you know all the perks that come with your account. Cash in your benefits by setting up an account today. Find out more at telohio.org.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Football is built on tradition, and so is the Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With a lifetime powertrain warranty on every vehicle purchase, you know you're getting a relationship that's built to last. Need service? Our Carvenience service takes care of everything, from picking up your vehicle to dropping it off when it's done, leaving you with a rental car in between. And with 4 dealerships and a collision center, Hinderer Motor Company is your one-stop shop for all things automotive. Visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and everybody gets beaten down. They get tired, they get old, they get sore, they don't move like they used to. You have those achy joints that you want to heal up and you want to feel better. I'm no different than you. This is Bobby Carpenter. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. I had issues with my knee. I didn't like it. I played football for so long, and I wanted to run. I wanted to be active again. I thought I was going to need surgery. Thankfully, I got to go see the folks over at QC Kinetics, and they were able to look at my knee, prescribe a treatment program with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. And you know what? I brought my dad with me. He absolutely loved it as well. And we wanted to go to QC Kinetics because they're the leaders and the experts in these amazing regenerative treatments. We're talking about cellular therapies here, and there's tens of thousands of people all across the country that have tried it at QC Kinetics. So they've got locations in Dublin and Gahanna, so it's easy to check them out. You can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
My name is Marsha Blanks, and I live here in Cleveland, Ohio. Like a lot of African Americans, diabetes runs in our family. I have diabetes, and my husband has diabetes. His was worse than mine, and we made the decision that he would go on the insulin and I would not. It was too expensive. The drug companies are making a fortune. Nothing changed with the formulas, so why was it becoming so expensive? When I heard that Sherrod Brown had capped insulin at $35, it meant that I could now take insulin and control my diabetes even better. It was a godsend. I'm feeling better. I'm losing weight. Sherrod, he stood up to the drug companies, and he actually won. And that showed me that he cared about us. I am 66 years old, and I do not plan on slowing down. And that's thanks to Sherrod, because I got the medicine I needed.
I'm Sherrod Brown running for Senate. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Sherrod Brown.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there today with a high of 83. Partly cloudy tonight, low 63. And then as we head into your Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky, Beamer, glad to have you back.
It's great to be back, Shark.
Notre Dame handed Purdue its worst loss ever on Saturday, 66-7, but it was a costly win for the Irish. Starting center Ashton Craig and starting linebacker Jordan Botello both suffered season-ending knee injuries. Both injuries happened in the second quarter. And, you know, many of us had Notre Dame penciled in for that 12-team playoff following the season-opening win at Texas A&M. But first, Bobby, we're going to have to see just how deep that Irish roster is.
This is the thing. Injuries can decimate any team. And Notre Dame, I mean, they were the favorites after week one. You put them in the garbage week two. Now they're back out, and you're feeling better about them after week three. However, they have these injury issues, and it's going to test their depth. They've got good young players, but how good are those guys? Are they ready to go? They don't have the toughest schedule. The good news for them is they're going to have about the next 6, 7, 8 weeks, get these guys prepared and repped up before they play USC, which could be, you know, a top 15, top 10 tilt.
Yeah, absolutely it could, Bob. I mean, they take on USC in the last week of the season. But until then, they got Miami of Ohio coming up at home this weekend. And the next weekend, they're at home against Louisville.
Louisville's pretty good. That would be a good game.
Louisville's top 25 team right now, and Notre Dame without their offensive line. I mean, that's what they really lean on, right? I mean, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't let Riley Leonard really like chuck the ball all over the yard. Either they're not letting him, or he's just not doing it, and he feels comfortable.
They're basically running a.
Yeah. I mean, you're running a
power spread.
You're running a pro-style power game where you're relying heavily on your run offense to do most of the damage, and that's fine. It's just that the problem becomes with that offensive line depth, and I think you make a great point here. I mean, you're only so good as the players who are available to play for you, and injuries can decimate plenty of seasons. We see it every year in the NFL. We see it every year in college football, and unfortunately for Notre Dame, they got hit with quite the bug this past weekend. Side nugget, Schleg style, 66-7 victors over Purdue. Purdue, I know they were picked last in the preseason of the Big Ten. They're on track to be that because they're really, their offense is bad and their defense is bad.
They're probably not the worst team in the Big Ten, but they have the toughest schedule.
Yeah.
They probably have the worst record.
They're at Oregon State this week. Then it's Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, Oregon, Northwestern, Buckeyes, Nittany Lions, Michigan State, Indiana. And the way that Indiana is playing, like that old Oak and Bucket, Indiana has a 24.3% chance to make the playoffs, according to the ESPN Football Power Index.
I like it.
Which doesn't, I don't know exactly what that means, but that's the number that they have spit out for the Hoosiers.
Means the index was impressed with that win at UCLA.
Correct.
On Sunday afternoon, Jamar Chase of the Bengals was so fired up about being tackled by an illegal hip drop that he got a 15-yard penalty for his overzealous rant at an official. And then Sunday night, Houston's Joe Mixon suffered an ankle injury after what he claims was an illegal hip check tackle. That was administered by the dirty Chicago Bears. On social media, Mixon called out the NFL for not enforcing its own rules. He said, "Time to put your money where your mouth is." Beamer, no flag was thrown against your guy, TJ Edwards.
Yeah, and it was a hip drop. I mean, he went back to the replay booth and you saw it, right? I mean, he literally, Bob, I think there's 4.
Time out. I'm done with we're making up new names for every way to get a guy to the ground.
Here's my thing.
I don't give a crap if you hip drop on his legs and break both of them.
I'm with you.
Be better.
I'm with you.
Offensive player.
On this. Because now I don't know where you can hit.
What do you want him to do?
I don't know where you can hit an offensive player anymore. You can't hit him in the head like that. The low ball game from a crosser across the middle, like if you're going to go blow out his ACL or something like that, like you don't really want to hit him there. So it's like a 18-inch box, basically, that you're able to bring these guys down on. And listen, they're big, they're strong, and they're fast. Like, there's only a certain amount of ways that you can get them down to the ground. But here's the thing. So if the NFL is going to be serious about this, like, they have to call these penalties. Because the Joe Mixon one was as clean as day. And I'm with you on this, Bob. Like, I don't necessarily agree that the hip drop tackle, I don't necessarily agree with it. I just don't know how you bring these guys down. But if you are going to make it a point of emphasis in the offseason and in the regular season, this was the one that you should have thrown the flag on, because there's like 4 indicators and all 4 were perpetrated by TJ Edwards. It was as clean as day that was a hip drop. That's what they're trying to eliminate from the game, and he committed it, but there was no flag.
I don't care. I don't care about the hip drop. I'm done. I'm done with more penalties on defensive players on how they cannot tackle guys anymore. First, I get the face mask. Then it was the horse collar. Now I've got the hip drop.
Roughing the passer.
Now, anytime you hit the quarterback in the head, even if it's with your pinky, they're going to call a penalty.
Especially if you're Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, what are we talking about here? They have pads on. They agreed to play the game of football. You're going to get tackled if you play on offense. You don't want to get tackled, play offensive line. It's the only position I know that never's a strong word, but will rarely get tackled.
Defensive line, Myles Garrett gets tackled all the time.
He does. That's why I said play the line.
Yeah.
After Cal and Stanford left the Pac-4 for the ACC, things died down in the conference transfer portal. But last week, 4 West Coast teams announced a move into what will now be the Pac-6, the six-pack. And now it appears that Air Force is going to be added to the American Athletic Conference. Currently, the AAC has 14 teams.
I don't know if I couldn't name you the 14 teams. There's no way.
Because a bunch of them left for the Big 12. Cincinnati and Houston and UCF. But Memphis still in the AAC?
Maybe.
Yes. Anyway, 14 teams in that league, including Army and Navy. So, Bob, it would make sense to have Air Force join them.
Absolutely. Then they can all play together, so they'll be leaving the Mountain West. I wish we could ask Schlegel about that. That would have been tremendous. I mean, he was a former Air Force cadet playing over there, and they've been in the Mountain West for a long time. But I think this is a good move for them. Like you said, Army and Navy already in there, so this will help clean up some scheduling stuff and to make sure that those are conference games now for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. Can we name half of the AAC? You guys named 7 out of the 14 teams.
Oh, boy.
Outside of Army and Navy, because you already named them. So 7 other teams. 9.
And we said Memphis.
Yep, there's 1. I'll give you Memphis 1.
Is South Florida in there?
South Florida is in there. That's 2.
No, Central's
not anymore.
Central's in the Big 12.
They're in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Florida International?
Florida International is not in there.
SMU.
No, they're
SMU's in the Big 12.
No, they're in the ACC.
In the ACC, yeah. Not getting a penny, but they moved to the ACC.
Ooh. No, Colorado State's in the Mountain West, aren't they?
Yeah. What about UAB?
UAB is in there. That's 3.
Yep. Southern Miss. Are they in the Conference USA?
They're not in this.
Yeah, some of those Texas school like
UT San Antonio.
UT San Antonio. You're at 4.
Roadrunners.
Yeah.
What about
North Texas?
North Texas 5.
Yes.
How about Louisiana Monroe?
No.
How about Louisiana Lafayette?
Tulsa.
Yes.
Oh, Bob, you are on a roll.
You need 1 more.
Oh gosh,
One
my
more.
brain hurts so
just
bad.
for the 7. There's plenty other teams.
Brain hurts. Tulane.
Tulane.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. You got it. East Carolina, North Texas, South Florida, Charlotte, Rice, Tulane, Tulsa, UAB,
a lot of those Texas schools.
San Antonio, Florida Atlantic, and Temple. Those are your teams in the American Athletic Conference.
Long may they reign.
So hopefully you learned something new today and you can break down those standings. We got our first quarterback move in the NFL and we're only 2 weeks in. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are tracking heavy delays on I-70, both east and westbound. There is a fire right near Livingston Avenue in those eastbound lanes that just has 2 lanes of traffic on the left getting by very slow. Expect to be slow moving through that stretch. I'm 10 TV's Amy Segerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
I think competition is healthy in any industry, but I think it's extremely healthy in the window business.
I want you to shop. I want our customers to understand how real we are. Our presentation is about making you happy. It's not about making a sale. They are there to take care of you and to do what's best for you and your family.
Visit Rosati Windows and save 35% on all windows.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. In Monday Night Football, the Eagles held a 3-point lead over Atlanta, and the Falcons were without any timeouts when Philadelphia elected to pass on third down. Saquon Barkley dropped the short pass that stopped the clock with 1:46 remaining. The Eagles kicked a field goal to go up 6, but Kirk Cousins marched the Falcons 70 yards in just over a minute. His 7-yard touchdown pass to Drake London gave Atlanta a 22-21 victory. In baseball, Guardian starter Matthew Boyd lasted just 2 2/3 innings against Minnesota and left the game trailing 3-0, but the Cleveland bullpen allowed no runs on 3 hits over 6 1/3 innings, and the offense rallied for a 4-3 victory. Kyle Manzardo's 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th was the difference. Meanwhile, the Royals blew a 5-1 lead and lost to Detroit 7-6, so Cleveland's lead over second-place Kansas City is up to 5 games. The Reds had the night off. The Sports Center is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. If you missed it in the 6 o'clock hour, Anthony Schlegel, he joined the program live this morning. We're going to re-air that for you coming up here at 8:05. Or if you missed that one too, we got a podcast. You can download on any of your podcasting platforms, or you can go back on YouTube and watch the show with us live through the end of the show and all day long when we broadcast live here on The Fan, or you can even watch it after the show ends. All kinds of good stuff for you. So Schlegs, he's going to reappear here 1 hour from right now. Coming up here at 7:35, Tony Gerdeman, a Buckeye Huddle. Improvement Week is over, and now we get to Thundering Herd Week of Marshall coming into town to the Horseshoe noon kick on Saturday. Gerd's going to join us coming up here at 7:35. Then Uncle Beau Bishop, he's going to round out the program with us. We'll talk some Browns amongst other things with coming up here at 8:35.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Guards 4, Twins 3 last night. Back at it tonight. Sharky, magic number for the playoffs for the Cleveland Guardians down to 2. Magic number
taste it
for the AL Central is down to 6.
Yes.
Where are we at in the playoff race right now? Second seed?
Second seed, I believe a half game behind the Yankees.
Okay.
The number 1 overall seed, but you just got to get that, one of those top 2 to get the first round bye.
Yeah, that's all we're looking for right here. And it would be, as of today, the Astros and...
Astros would be the 3rd seed, so the 6th seed would be, Boston. You've got Kansas City as the 4th seed, Minnesota as the 5.
Okay.
No, that's not right. Baltimore would be the 4th seed. Yeah, Boston's on the outside looking in.
Yep.
So then Kansas City and Minnesota.
Minnesota is the last right now.
Yeah, they're leaking oil. Detroit's only, a game and a half?
Game and a half back. Mariners are 2 games back. Red Sox are 4 games back.
So right now you'd see the first round matchup being Houston and Minnesota.
Yep.
And then you'd have Kansas City against Baltimore.
Correct. And if you keep the 2 seed,
you would face either Houston or
Minnesota. Yeah. All right, so there we go. We're good to rock on that, Sharky. So again, 2 games to go. Magic number for them just to make the playoffs. 6 is the magic number for the AL Central. Reds at home tonight against the Braves at 6:40. Monday Night Football last night, pretty dramatic, good to the last drop. Eagles lose one at home, 22-21 against the Atlanta Falcons. Eagles snap the ball, 3rd and 3 on the 10-yard line, 13-yard line, somewhere deep into, I was going to say Vikings territory because Kirk Cousins is a quarterback. Wrong team. Into Falcons territory. Now, they conjure up a pass play for Saquon Barkley. Good idea. I mean, you had Saquon Barkley. The ball by Jalen Hurts was delivered pretty good on the money. Drop the pass. So instead, what happens, instead of the clock running and you possibly getting a first down on a run play and killing off the game right there, Eagles kick a field goal, clock stops, Falcons get the ball back with minute and a half-ish instead of 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, minute 39 or something like that.
Yeah, so instead of a minute left to go in the game when the Falcons would get the ball back, the Eagles give the ball to the Falcons, like I said, with a minute and change, and the Falcons just, like a hot knife through butter, go right down the field. And I don't know what the Eagles defense was doing. I saw on the YouTube chat, someone said, what was Vic Fangio thinking? The prevent defense is good for not allowing guys over the top. I know that you don't have to score, the Falcons had to score a touchdown on that drive. Bob, I mean, the Falcons were struggling all night to move the ball. And in that last drive, they get a boom, 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 boom. Was it 6 plays? 6 plays? Well, end zone.
If you don't move, Kirk Cousins, if you didn't know this, but he tore his ACL last year.
Yeah.
So when you get him moving around, he doesn't feel all that great, and there's probably some confidence issues with it. And he's never been the greatest athlete in the world, but he's been a guy that functionally moves around and can
burn you.
And can get it done. But he doesn't right now at this stage in his life. I mean, his career. He's an older guy. He's coming off a torn Achilles. Move him off his spot. Make him uncomfortable. Don't let him sit there in the pocket and carve you up. And also give him less time. Now, Schlegel's pointed out, and I am a proponent of this, you have to ask your guys to execute. Nick Sirianni called a play that was a fairly sure completion. And if it wasn't there, I guarantee you told Jalen Hurts, dude, be an athlete, go try to get it. Just do not go out of bounds. Do not fumble the ball. Those are your 2.
Or throw a pick.
Do not give them the ball back. We'll get the field goal. We'll run clock here, and we'll be good. He threw it to a wide-open Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley dropped the ball. I don't know what you want him to do. What do you want to say about that? He should have caught it. He's compensated at a very high level. He had a really good game. He's a very talented player. He's helped that Eagles offense immensely. However, he didn't make the play right there. And in not making the play, it gave the Eagles the ball back, or gave the Falcons the ball back after the field goal with plenty of time left. And they went down and scored in a little over a minute.
Minute and 5.
I don't know if the answer, I think the answer is probably, run the ball right there, run some sort of zone, quarterback option, keep deal where Tim and Saquon, you have 2 of the best runners with the ball in their hand in the NFL. Give those guys a chance. By the way, you have a really good offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We listened to Kelsey up there just stroking Jerky Boy all night. What's his name? Juergens, the new center?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Jerky. They call him Jerky or something like that. I don't know. But they were just loving on him, and they've got really good players. Lane Johnson can't stay off the juice,
Cam Juergens.
Cam Juergens. He calls him Jerky. He's from North Dakota and some sort of farm. Worked on his parents' cattle and hay farm.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So you've got this really good offensive line. You got 2 great running backs. I don't hate the call they made, but Saquon's got to catch that. But if you want to eliminate that as a possibility 100%, you'll run the rock, and then you don't worry about that, and you kick the field goal, and they get the ball back with less than a minute as opposed to 38 seconds.
Yeah, 2 of the receivers, the Falcons went down inbounds, too. So the clock was ticking, but they didn't have to worry about it because they had a minute and 40 seconds to drive down the field.
When you pick up chunks of 20 yards on a play, that's not a good thing.
No.
You like that? You like that?
Little Kirk Cousins victory for you last night. Minute 39 left. They go right down the field and score a touchdown
reality.
Against the Eagles.
I saw in a 17-game season. Now, it's a smaller sample size than the 16-game. If you go 2-0, you have a 77% chance of making the playoffs.
Seems good.
If you go 0-2, you have a 9.5% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So everybody that was like either 0-1 or 1-0 was fighting for their life because like you 2-0, you get to 3-0, like that number starts getting closer to mid-80s.
Yeah.
You go 0-3, like you're on life support.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a daunting task. It can be overcome, but it's like 1 in 10 teams do it, not every year.
This was the reason why we saw this move yesterday, because I think it maybe not surprising if you watch the games, but surprising given the entire circumstances that Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young on Monday was benched in favor of Andy Dalton. And you had mentioned the stats. 0-2, 9.5% chance that you make the playoffs historically from starting 0-2. And let's be honest here. I don't know if the quarterback change is going to get you
How about this?
to a playoffs.
Tonight, 10 o'clock on FX Shark, can I interest you in Aaron Hernandez, an American sports story? I'm telling you, the preview on ESPN looks pretty compelling.
I'll be in bed by then.
You can stream it on Hulu Beam.
I guess I could watch it anytime then.
Yeah. Or you could record it. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I was pretty
I
surprised.
didn't know that was coming out.
I was pretty surprised by the Bryce Young benching yesterday.
Were you, though?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was. Because
They've been terrible for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. The only team with a longer losing streak than the Carolina Panthers is the Jags.
How many did they lose in a row last year?
The Jags, they've lost 7 at the end of last year, I think, in a row, and
Capped
then
off by Vrabel in his final.
and then
walk-off.
I think they've lost two to start off the gate this year. They've either lost 7 out of their last 8 or 8 out of their last 9. The Panthers haven't won a game since Thanksgiving last year.
Ooh. That doesn't sound very good at all.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
Yeah.
Did you see what our guys at the Dilworth Tavern are up to? Remember this from last year when he said sell the team, Tepper, or put out some sign?
Oh, yeah. They were the dudes that put the little signs out.
Yeah, I don't know if they said sell the team, Tepper, or what the story was from last year, but I remember that David Tepper went into the bar. It's a neighborhood bar in Charlotte. He went into the bar and
I respect that.
Had a meeting and
confront him.
He chest poked the owner, David Tepper did, who owns the Carolina Panthers, chest poked the owner of the restaurant.
I like that. Intimidate him.
Maybe a little strong arming there. Well, that didn't seem to work because outside of their restaurant yesterday morning, they have a sign that has 4 prongs to it, and it said Mayfield 2-0, Darnold 2-0, Rule 3-0, Young 0-2. That's tough.
I mean, is CJ or the Texans 2-0?
The Texans are 2-0.
And also a guy you passed.
And also a guy who
they didn't
was
have any
unbelievable.
They didn't have any
night.
more space.
No.
They ran out of space of other people that they could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Rule, the firing of Rule down there, I thought was very premature. And they just had trouble getting a quarterback. They thought they were going to get Stafford.
They have someone else in between Rule and where we're at now with Canales?
Yeah, they had Frank Wright.
That's right.
And it was wrong. It wasn't right. It was wrong. Frank didn't do a good job, but he was the one that talked him into drafting Bryce Young. That was
it, or was it David Tepper?
Well, that's maybe he's smart enough to realize
Not
he
only,
made a
Bob,
mistake.
did you not only did you just get the number 1 overall pick, you were the worst team in the NFL, and then you drafted Bryce Young. That happens. Quarterbacks, we know that. It's the toughest position to identify in all of football. You weren't the worst team. You traded up a massive haul to go and get him, and the kicker is that CJ looks to be an all-world guy, that he is an all-world guy, like an all-league bona fide superstar. I mean, DJ Moore, first-round pick, second-round pick, number 1 overall pick, and then a 2025 second-round pick he gave up to go get Bryce Young.
Yeah. And your pick was number 1 this year.
Yeah. They were the worst team in the league.
The worst team in the league, so you gave up the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, the status on Caleb is still out, so.
Oh, believe me, they could be making a huge mistake there. I'm not convinced. Despite, and I addressed this yesterday, the slobbering on him by Chris Collinsworth on Sunday night.
Caleb. Oh, what are we doing? Come on, man. All right, I've been watching football for a long time. It's this is already better than last week. I'm like, is it? Are you seeing the pressure that's getting to him? Some of these passes where he's got open receivers and he's airmailing them.
I mean, he said that pass in the red zone where they got the PI was the perfect pass. He threw it only where he had to draw a PI. I'm like,
he's an NFL quarterback.
Just chill out.
What was
Chris.
worse, that or Romo saying, Patrick Mahomes did a great job here and he threw the ball in the dirt on purpose? I'm like, Tony, I'm not so certain about that.
Yeah, they love it.
But the Collinsworth going crazy about Caleb Williams.
Those two slurp jobs.
It was the first possession of the game. It was the first possession of the game, and we were already anointing him like a Hall of Famer.
Slurp jobs.
I'm like, what are we doing? What are you doing? Biggest takeaways from week 3 in college football next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching crews officially clear up a fire from earlier this morning on I-70 eastbound. This is just past that Livingston Avenue exit. Expect the right lanes to be slightly blocked off over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Sherrod Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio.
But what Sherrod Brown does in D.C. has not protected Ohio women and children. Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Not only unfair, but risking injury to female athletes. Brown even introduced legislation to allow transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms. And Brown would allow puberty blockers, even sex change surgery for children. Worse, Brown introduced a law to force women's domestic violence shelters to accept transgender biological men, inflicting more trauma on abused women. So when Brown says,
I'll work with anyone to protect Ohio,
Sherrod Brown is not protecting Ohio women and children. In fact, he's endangering them. Ohio deserves better. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back. Stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right. Enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444-ROOF.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there today with a high of 83, low 60s tonight. A little bit more sunshine on your Wednesday with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here, 7:33 this morning. That too. Morning. Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. We'll break down Buckeye Improvement Week. Also get ready for the Thundering Herd of Marshall. Can you name what conference Marshall is in?
Yeah, Marshall moved from Conference USA to the Fun Belt, I believe.
You are correct on that.
Yes.
Good job. That was quick draw McGraw.
I do.
Out of you.
Because Conference USA poached some of the Sun Belt 5 or 6 years, 7 or 8 years ago, whenever some of that stuff was moving around. And then when the Sun Belt had the chance to go back and scrape the Conference USA, they went in with a full butcher's
Not even
knife.
cold yet.
I mean, it was straight up Bill the Butcher out of Gangs of New York. And he went in there and they cleaved him up nice.
Yeah, that's exactly why we love college football. Hey, let's do this.
You hear the sound? You know it's the rooster. You know it is an appetizer Tuesday, which means it's a Threes Day. And the featured appetizer being, well, it's going to be just $3 at Roosters all day long. And today's featured appetizer, it's the 5-tool player. It's the Ted Williams of appetizers. It's the mozzarella sticks. Crispy breaded outside, gooey, cheesy inside, served with warm homemade marinara sauce. It is delicious. It is tasty. It is $3 all day long. Also, if you're at Roosters, you can scan the QR code on the napkin, or you can go to roosterswings.com and register for the Buckeye giveaway. They've got 2 more opportunities to win. Awesome stuff. Tickets to Coach's Show, tickets to games, some unbelievable different events that you can win that you would not have access to otherwise. They've got some playoff tickets, I believe, in there circling around, all kinds of good stuff. So head to roosterswings.com, and we're going to give you a $50 gift card if you hang on till 8:20, and you can answer That's What He Said, Beam.
Well, absolutely, we are. That's coming up 1 hour away from right now. What are your biggest takeaways in college football from this weekend? Mine is that Florida State absolutely stinks.
Florida State's not a. Here's the interesting thing. I think if they would have beat Georgia Tech, I think they'd be 3-0.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They lost to Georgia Tech, and subsequently they're 0-3. When you build a team of transfers, what investment do they really have into the program?
Nothing. Monetary investment.
And so when it's a transactional relationship. And so if you're just putting money on the nightstand every night, there's nothing else to keep them there other than the dollar. Now, Shark always told me the honor's in the dollar.
Correct.
Okay, but
where'd you get those dollars from, Shark?
And what did you do for the dollars? Mm-hmm. That's the question. But are you still willing to go all in and do more, or go above and beyond for the aforementioned dollar? Probably not. You have a quarterback in there. If I heard another person say that Ohio State should have brought in DJU, now everybody's quiet on that, all quiet on that front.
All quiet on the DJU front.
Yes, because they've saw what he is. And listen, this isn't a knock on him. He had a great game with Clemson against Notre Dame 5 years ago. You know who he is.
Is that pre-COVID?
Oh, it was during COVID.
COVID season?
It was 2020.
It was Saturday. It was a big Saturday night.
It was a Saturday night because that's when Clemson and Notre Dame were in Notre Dame popped in and played in the same. They played in the ACC.
You're right.
They were in the ACC that year.
Yep.
And that was a big. Trevor Lawrence was hurt. He pops in there. Boom. Everything is great. You know who he is, though?
He was 29 of 44 for 439 and 2 touchdowns against Notre Dame.
It was really good. Led a game-winning drive, I think, for a field goal or something at the end, or big drive. He was good, really good. You know who he is? He's Sandy Lyle portrayed by Philip Seymour Hoffman out of Along Came Polly. The childhood star who had the one big hit, who's been riding that train for the last 30 years.
Rain Man. Rain Dance.
And that's what it is.
White chocolate.
He just needed his buddy's dad to sit there and tell him, Pfeffer's dad to be like, hey, dude.
Pauly
Pfeffer, you did a great job. That was a fantastic movie. You played the heck out of those drums, but your life you suck as an actor.
Yeah.
Like,
he's not very good.
And that's where he is. Like, he's just a decent quarterback. If you ask him to be a game manager and do what he did at Oregon State last year, he was okay. And Oregon State, I think, fooled everybody into thinking that he was better than what he actually was, because they're going to run the ball. He's a big, physical, athletic guy who doesn't run and can't really throw it deep. So what are you? Like,
that's a good question.
You can get a guy that's 5'10" to go
would you
through
say
those
you
slants
do
and
here?
outs. Yeah. Like, dude, I'm not even, you don't even run hard with your 6'4", 255-pound frame. Like, your brother plays D-line at Oregon, for heaven's sake. I mean, like, let's figure this thing out. I know you're a quarterback, but, like, lean into it a little bit.
Literally. Use your body a little more.
I mean, I'll give this at least, what's his name up in Notre Dame?
Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, like, he hasn't thrown the ball very well deep, but he'll run the heck out of that thing for you.
Yeah, he will.
Like, go run it.
Mark is probably saying sometimes, Riley, get down.
You know, like Jalen Hurts, like, hey, he's gotten a lot better as a thrower, but he's still going to lean into running the football.
Baker Mayfield, really good at running
the football. Like, those guys understand, like, you got to move the chains, and he's not a real willing runner.
Where are you at on Georgia? Because they had quite
Kentucky
the scare.
has given them problems.
You're right.
If you go look historically, Georgia has played them. Kentucky has played them tough every year. And Kentucky, their back was against the wall. They got blown out by South Carolina. If they win that game, that thing turns their season on a dime. They should have won it. I mean, you got a 4th and 8 on the 50. Dude, there's like 3 minutes left. I know you've been leaning in on your defense. I don't want to second guess Mark Stoops. Like, it's tough. I'm not sure if there's a good answer for that. But Georgia's good, but they're not perfect.
Georgia in that series has won 15 straight games, 13-12 this weekend. Last year in Athens, it was a bloodbath, 51-13. 2022, 16-6.
Yeah.
2021, 30-13. I think that was a closer game than what the 30-13 is. 14-3 in 2020. Like, there have been some really good games in that series.
They've kept it close and done a decent job. It's just, I believe the one game that they ended up losing like 30, it was 14-6 at halftime.
Yeah.
Like, they were moving the ball and doing some things that were good like 2 years ago. That was with Will Levis being before he decided to start throwing underhand passes inside the red zone.
Before he started to drink mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yeah, he went full crazy. But like, I think Georgia's really good. But this is the thing about college football. As we just saw with Notre Dame, like, you get beat by anyone on any day.
It's fleeting.
There is no, like, crazy great teams this year. I think Ohio State, I think Georgia, I think Texas. And Bama, I think, is starting to creep into that.
I'm going to put a pin in Tennessee. I'm putting a pin in Tennessee.
Tennessee's got to show me. This week against Oklahoma will show me something. I want to see them against Bama again. And that'll tell me that. They've got Bama and they're at Georgia. Like
69 points, 51 points, 71 points.
You've got to either beat Bama or Georgia for me. You've got to win one of those. You can't get beat by both of them, and you can't get beat by 2 touchdowns by both of them. Or I'm going to throw you back to being the normal Tennessee you've always been.
Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program. We'll recap Improvement Week and get ready for Marshall with him coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are still watching a road closure. State Route 104 is shut down in both directions, right near Durrett Road. Watch for crews posted up over there. You can use 23 in both directions to get around this. Also on I-70 westbound, the left lane slightly blocked off right near 256 due to a crash on the east side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. BMIFCU.org/Visa.
They come here illegally, crossing our southern border. Then Sherrod Brown rolls out the welcome mat for them here in Ohio. Brown voted to give amnesty to 11 million illegal immigrants, including those convicted of crimes like drunk driving, aggravated assault, and child abuse. And Sherrod Brown voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities in Ohio, which released dangerous illegals back onto the street, making Ohio's neighborhoods less safe. And while we struggle to make ends meet, Sherrod Brown is voting to give illegals taxpayer-funded benefits, like health care for illegals granted amnesty, Social Security, COVID relief checks, even a program to fly Haitian migrants into Ohio airports, all paid for by you, the taxpayer. You think you know Sherrod Brown? Well, after 31 years in Washington, Sherrod Brown's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Hey there, football fans. It's Austin Ward. People are noticing the difference with me on the sidelines this year. A little quicker on my feet and 55 pounds lighter thanks to Awaken 180. Getting some comments, even starting a press conference, getting asked how many pounds I've lost. Let's not forget that famous question, you actually kept off the weight? Yes, sir, I have, and it's been almost a year since I dropped my 55 pounds, which took just over 2 months. If I had gone the medication route, it would have taken 4 times that, and I would still be on the meds. I ate to lose weight with Awaken 180's at-home program, and to this day, I still thank Chops for introducing me to the solution for weight loss. Guys, girls, the program is simple. It's fast and can literally work for anyone. Have questions? Ask me, ask Chops, ask Scotty Vegas, or any of the other 23,000 Awaken 180 clients who took control of their weight. Already game? If so, speak to Awaken 180 directly by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. columbusmensclinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's It's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Well, week 2 of the NFL just wrapped up last night with a pretty dramatic one. Falcons over the Eagles, 22-21. But don't you worry, because week 3 is going to be here before you know it. Thursday night football, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Yes.
If you're new to FanDuel, you can get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Coming up on Thursday night football, you have the Pats and the Jets. A little Breece Hall over on rushing yards, Rodgers passing yards. Both teams currently sitting at 1-1 to start the season, Bob. All kinds of good stuff over there on FanDuel for you to get your footballing weekend started with Thursday night football.
You build that SGP, Beam. You get whatever you want in there. Yeah. It's a beautiful opportunity. Get some Buckeye action with Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, all of them in there. Figure it out. It's going to be absolutely tremendous. FanDuel, the official sports partner of the NFL, and go to FanDuel.com/juice to make every moment more this season. Must be 21 older in present Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now. Drop a bonus bets expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Check with our good friend of Buckeye Huddle. He is Tony Gerdeman. Gerd, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Improvement week is over. It is now Marshall week. What did we do to improve last week for the Buckeyes?
Yeah, what they did to improve is looked at the areas where players have been deficient and worked on those, and that's every player was given some issues to work with and to brush up on and get stronger in their weak areas. And coaches were the same. Jim Knowles talked about it last week or the week before about how the teams they've played right now haven't been able to take advantage of weaknesses that he's seen with the defense. So he wanted to spend last week on figuring out how to adjust to teams that can and to eliminate the issues before they even arise. So with this kind of schedule, you can work on things like that, but you don't really know if they're fixed until you run up against an offense or a defense that can push you and really, really stress you.
If you were doing the self-scouting, Gerd, and if you were watching these, what would you say that they may not be so sufficient in throughout the first 2 weeks of the season, if anything?
Boy, yeah, it's hard to find some faults with the Ohio State offense or defense right now, especially because it's gotten better each week. I think nobody wanted a bye week when they got it because things were going well. The running game was okay-ish in the opener and then got really good in the second game, so you like that progression. The defense went from 6 points allowed to 0, so, is it going to be -6 this week? We don't know. The progression is going in a good way. I don't even know, where could they do better? I don't know. Next question. What else? What are they doing?
That's true.
Kick the ball better. Special teams, better return game. Ryan Day has talked about that with the kickoff return and seeing some potential there, but not getting it. And, Jaden Ballard putting the ball on the ground. They're looking for some consistency there, and they do want to make that a part of the team this year and part of the plan. And so they're going to, maybe that's the weak spot right now. But if you're only allowing a kickoff or two per game, is that really an issue?
Yeah, and it isn't until it is. So you have to see, as long as they don't give up anything big, but they need to obviously tighten that down as best they can. Is there any level of excitement or curiosity about this Marshall offense? They were a team that, they scored against Virginia Tech. It was a closer game than the 31-14 kind of indicated. 7-10 at halftime. Stone Earl, their quarterback, not a great day. They've got some receivers that can make plays, but they run the ball pretty well. So do you think this will be how much of a level up do you think this will ultimately be from where they've been the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'd say a pretty good one because they did average almost 6 yards a carry against Virginia Tech, and that's a real number against a real team. No matter how good or bad Virginia Tech is, they've got real scholarship players that have been offered by a lot of major programs. So you're going to be tested that way. I think what I've liked from the Ohio State defense is going back to the Akron game with Joe Moorhead trying to pull out some trick plays and some misdirections. This is a very, very disciplined defense. And you just want to see them maintain that discipline after a week off. And they tried to make last week as normal as possible. But when you're talking about Marshall, I think it is a step up. And it's a slow progression, but they've got guys that can make plays on offense and have had some success. And they've got some big play guys here and there. And so I think this is a good opportunity for the Buckeyes to, as Ryan Day would say, play to their standard. The standard is the standard, regardless of opponent. But also, this opponent does give them a bit more of a test, and has played in a tough environment. So this won't be entirely new for them. So that will help Marshall as well. And I think Ohio State will be taking them seriously, just as they've taken the first two opponents seriously, because they're taking the task seriously. And all these guys came back for a reason, and getting through Marshall is one of those reasons.
He is Tony Gerdeman, a Buckeye Huddle, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Anything else we're looking at, Gerd, here as we get into it's not going to be a sprint. I mean, we know there's a 4-pack of games coming up here before your next bye, so you get a little bit more time, at least on the field concurrently. But health-wise, I mean, how's everybody looking? I know that Donovan has missed the first couple of games of the season.
Yeah, it sounds like he'll be back. That's been the plan. And I was a little surprised that Cody Simon played, just because if he was a little banged up, no reason not to keep him out. So he must have been completely healthy, which is good. I'm frankly interested to see what happens as the competition gets better. How much more or less does Arvell Reese play? He started the fall camp as the number 3 middle linebacker. Now he's the number 3 linebacker. And they like that rotation, but how often, how willing are they going to be to take Cody Simon out of a game against a legitimate tough opponent and put Arvell Reese in here and there? So I'm interested to see how that works. Whatever other kind of rotating they do. We know they're always going to rotate on the defensive line, and that's you have no choice there. But Ryan Day has talked about playing Austin Seerveld even when Donovan Jackson is back. So how do they do that without interrupting the cohesiveness of the offensive line? And Day has talked about, if you got guys, if the position coaches, all of the assistant coaches, if they've got guys who are worthy of playing, who are starter ready, game ready, you got to get them in the game. It's a lot easier said than done. I'm also interested to see how this tight end situation continues to progress, because right now, I think all 3 tight ends, Jelani Thurman, G. Scott, and Will Kazmarek, have all played roughly the same number of snaps, and that's over 2 games. So does one of those guys emerge as the guy who gets 60% of the snaps and the other 2 share the other 40 when they're doing 12 personnel and things like that? So there's still some things to shake out. And maybe we start to see some of that this week, but more than likely that's a Big Ten solution down the road.
Do you see this as kind of the first step? It almost sets up pretty nice where each team, I think, successively gets a little better to Oregon.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny how it works out like that. And and even just going to Michigan State, Michigan State is undefeated at this point, but it's a road Big Ten game. And if you know anything about Ohio State history, and I'm sure these players do now, you can't take any game against Michigan State lightly. So generally it's the games at Ohio Stadium that you really have to worry about. But you're right, because it just continues to step up, and then it ramps up to 11 when they go to Oregon. But even it'll be interesting to see how they react coming back from Oregon, because Nebraska, pretty good chance they may be undefeated if they get through this Friday game. So even though you can relax a little, you really can't. And so that's going to be a tough one to get back up to. But, yeah, the Michigan State and then Iowa is a legit defense, as we know. The offense, it is what it is. But, again, the standard is the standard for the Ohio State defense. So it doesn't matter who the offense is. And so, yeah, it's a good ramp-up. Generally you get this game 2 that we've seen over the years for Ohio State, where you have to be at 11. And now you don't. You can just kind of work your way up to it, and we'll see how it goes. I think they feel pretty good about where things are going. They just would have loved to have played this past week.
Gerd, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great day over at the Woody. Enjoy the Ryan Day press conference, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Always. See it.
There he goes. Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Huddle, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching crews clear up a crash on I-70 westbound on the far east side. The left lane blocked off on I-70 westbound just beyond 256. And watch for crews clearing up a crash from earlier this morning on State Route 104. Right now, both directions shut down right near Durrett Road. You can use 23 in both directions to get around this. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Have we spent enough time telling homeowners how much the name Eco can actually mean?
Well, I did name the company that, so yes.
I mean explaining that Eco can stand for how much better we can make your plumbing, ecologically speaking.
Get Eco.
A tankless water heater, for example. Switching to tankless means your family has unlimited hot water, shower after shower after shower, without having to use precious electricity to keep a big tank of water hot 24 hours a day. It's ecological.
Pretty good wordplay for a guy that almost failed English, don't you think?
Get Eco.
I think if more people knew they could help the planet just by taking a shower, I think we might be onto something.
That's not quite as ecological as the first thing you said, but okay.
You know, I'm working on inventing a new kind of junk mail that throws itself away.
And the planet thanks you, Jerry.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. I picked up my brand new Toyota Tundra last week and I absolutely love it from my guy Marcello at Germain Toyota. And right now, you can lease the powerful Toyota Tundra SR5 for just $409 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Built to handle tough jobs and thrilling journeys. The Toyota Tundra SR5 is the ultimate companion for work and play. These deals are rolling out fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
The Buckeye Show.
I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. I mean, I'm sure he's in bed.
I tell you what, Ryan, you better not be saying those things about me.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Heaven on earth. It's here in the mountain towns of West Virginia, draped in vibrant reds, yellows, and oranges. Some of America's most spectacular fall colors. The perfect backdrop to autumn adventure, from scenic train rides to fall festivals, and a cozy cabin waiting at the end of the day. Fall is almost heaven in West Virginia. Plan your getaway at wvtourism.com.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the plum insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there today with a high of 83. Partly cloudy tonight, low 63. And then as we head into your Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them online at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky, yeah, it's a Tuesday. We're going to hear from this fine fellow here in about 15 minutes' time. Schlegs, he's going to reappear on the program. We got a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier. What's got him fired up right now?
Are the ones that are preforming, which is the student athletes of all the things that we talk about.
Preforming or performing?
Preforming. I did say preforming. Yeah.
Schleg's making up words. It was so great.
Don't digress me.
I tell you what has me juiced this morning, gentlemen. It is week number 2 of the NFL season. 10 of the 16 road teams won. And you might think, well, maybe it was just a lot of mismatches with heavy favorites going into
the Saints at the Cowboys.
They should have been a favorite.
Into Dallas. You had the Buccaneers, a 7-point underdog going into Detroit and winning. You had the Raiders at 9.5-point underdogs going into Baltimore. And then last night, the Falcons were 6.5-point underdogs going into Philly. So a lot of big upsets this weekend. And if you think about Week 1, the largest point spread in Week 1 was the Bengals to beat New England. They lost. The largest point spread in Week 2 was the Raiders at Baltimore, and they lost. You just keep that in mind on Thursday when you're
going
picks.
up against Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. You don't have a chance to begin with.
That's right.
You want another crazy stat about the Saints? Sorry.
That's all right.
A little bit of a cold. William tagged me this weekend with whatever he's got going. New Orleans Saints, who we were talking about a couple of weeks ago before the season started, is Dennis Allen having the highest odds to be the earliest coach fired in the NFL season. The New Orleans Saints this year, on their first 15 drives of the season, have scored on all 15 drives.
Oh, come on.
Their first 15 drives of the season.
It is to score 40 points.
You know how hard it is to score an offensive touchdown for some teams?
That's crazy.
15, their first 15 drives of the season. J.J. McCarthy is tied for most touchdown passes for rookie quarterback. J.J. McCarthy's out for the season.
That's a great stat.
Crazy.
And then I have to play this. Tom Hamilton from WTAM up in Cleveland last night. Tribe trailing 3-2, going to the bottom of the 8th. Man on. Josh Naylor at second base.
Doesn't even know her.
And Kyle Manzardo at the plate.
The pitch. Swung on. Hit high. Hit deep to right. Away back. Gone. How about that? A majestic 2-run bomb to right by Kyle Manzardo off Minnesota's best, Griffin Jacks.
It wasn't just a normal home run, Bob. It was a majestic home run.
Whoever was on those fireworks, they saw it early because they fired those things. I don't think the ball had even landed yet.
Might not have reached its apex yet.
Is in the middle of the call, and you can already hear him going off. That was amazing. It's good. I was happy for you, Shark. I saw that this morning when I woke up. Super juiced about that. Oh, goodness. We've got our apprenticeship banquet tonight for our Carpenter Freeland apprenticeship program. So excited to always do that. Spoke to the first one like 8 years ago before I even really knew my partner. And we just kind of randomly been asked to do it. So I always love doing that and being a part of it.
You going to go with the prime rib tonight?
With the prime, I'm going with the prime. I don't know what they, I think.
Maybe a little chicken.
City barbecue, I think. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that'll be good.
That works.
That's what I need.
Best pulled pork on the game.
It's good, but I mean, yeah. But we had basketball tryouts last night for the 5th grade, and it was that, flag football, just a million things going on. Trying to juggle all this. I got a list of a million people I got to call, and I sat down and watched more of that game than I wanted to last night, but it was good till the last drop. Got a little Ryan Hawk for you today. Stumbled onto this gem, and I love it. It's more than anything else. I can't love this anymore.
The world does not care what you think you deserve. The world doesn't care if you think you work harder than everybody else. What matters is how much value you bring to people. And in that case, it was a football team. But in general in life, that's all that matters. That's just the way it works. So the exact same thing is how my business works. Like, we have to earn this job every single day, and nobody cares that we work really hard in the background to be prepared. Nobody cares. What do they care about? They care how you can help them.
Care about results, Shark.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I love that. I couldn't heart that anymore, Beam. My man Ryan Hawk is on the program in July. We'll have him back here after football season.
July?
Yeah.
A couple months ago. Man, time flies when you're having fun.
It seemed like only yesterday, Beam.
Yesterday.
Seems so far away.
Yeah.
What's got you juiced?
What's got me juiced? Had an awesome time. Had a couple of days off. Had a Friday and a Monday off during the
But not
bye
your
week.
wife's birthday.
Yeah, no, it's her birthday today. So big happy birthday to Mare. I asked her, I'm like, what do you want to do for your birthday? Because we went to that concert last week. That was kind of like an early birthday present. And so she goes, I either want to go to this place and get some like sandwiches for dinner and like do a picnic at a park. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty fun. She goes, or I want to go to Akaihana with William because he likes sushi. And I'm like, well, it's your birthday.
Tell me.
You tell me.
Where does Kelly having a celebrating?
She's coming up tomorrow for dinner.
Okay.
So she'll be here tomorrow, which we're super excited about. But a big happy birthday to Meredith. It's got me all kinds of fired up. And then William has started climbing. So we're officially like now in the danger zone of climbing with everything. So we can get on the couch now. We can get on the dining room chairs. We can get on just about everything.
Climb up the steps.
But, well, he can climb up and down the steps. We do have a gate. So he did.
Climb out of the crib.
On Saturday. Yes, Saturday. Or maybe it was on Friday. I don't know. Regardless, doesn't matter what day it was. He was coming down the steps, and he's getting pretty good at them now. I mean, obviously, you still want to like supervise him, but he took a straight nosedive off of the bottom 3 steps and got a nice fat lip. And then he couldn't put his pacifier in, and then he slept like awful on the weekend. So I was up until way later than I wanted to be one of the nights. Anyways, I know that one of these, another nasty fall is coming because we've got like an ottoman that rocks.
Oh,
you know, we got the rocking ottoman.
That's the best.
In his room. And so yesterday was the first time that he had conjured up the guts
like
to
surfing.
Get up, exactly. That he got up on the ottoman. And so like I'm there, I mean, just like hovering over him, and his body bob is just rocking back and forth. I mean, his legs are going back and forth and all kinds of good stuff. And so I'm like sitting on the chair when he's doing this. And I come into the room, and he's doing it again. Meredith is there, and she's singing Surfing USA, and like just on the opposite side of the room. And then he fell. He did a little somersault off, and then he started laughing. I'm like, I need you to take a fall that's going to scare you a little bit.
Why don't you just push him? Nudge him a little bit.
Just natural selection at that point. But yeah, so I mean, climbing on things, nothing is safe in our house, and that's the way she goes. So all kinds of fired up about this weekend. It was nice to get some time off in there. If you missed Schlegs in the 6 o'clock hour, fear not. He was live this morning, and he was ready to rock as we interrupted him in the middle of a workout. You'll hear him next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Still watching a crash on the far east side. I-70 westbound, the left lane blocked off right near 256 as crews work to clear up a crash. State Route 104 still shut down in both directions right at Durrett Road. Use 23 in both directions to get around that. And then I-70 eastbound watching the left shoulder slightly blocked off near the 670-70 split because of a disabled vehicle. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
They come here illegally, crossing our southern border. Then Sherrod Brown rolls out the welcome mat for them here in Ohio. Brown voted to give amnesty to 11 million illegal immigrants, including those convicted of crimes like drunk driving, aggravated assault, and child abuse. And Sherrod Brown voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities in Ohio, which release dangerous illegals back onto the street, making Ohio's neighborhoods less safe. And while we struggle to make ends meet, Sherrod Brown is voting to give illegals taxpayer-funded benefits, like health care for illegals granted amnesty, Social Security, COVID relief checks, even a program to fly Haitian migrants into Ohio airports, all paid for by you, the taxpayer. You think you know Sherrod Brown? Well, after 31 years in Washington, Sherrod Brown's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot. And a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Cabinets and lighting fixtures, too. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring